All right, good evening. Hello, welcome to another episode of the O&G StrikeZone alongside Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier. I'm Bryan Fulford. Good evening, fellas. How are you?
What's going on, guys? My brethren, the time has come.
Yes.
It's championship season. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Also, we have some things in terms of some FAMU shenanigans on the hill. So we got some discussions we're gonna have right off the bat.
FAMU foolishness, FAMU shenanigans, whatever you want to call it.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are things going up there in the Northeast there, Marcus?
It's going good. Yeah, it's going real good. You know, nice warm weather. Football season kicking off. Football, volleyball, cross country. You see everybody's getting active now. You see all this social media stuff coming out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bryan, what earring?
I got on headphone.
The people want to know.
People want to know.
I think he was. I think his earrings got a hold of him a little early today when his Twitter post. Starting that rumors again.
Yes, sir.
Look, man. I was just feeling some kind of way today. I mean, is it, given all the things that's going on,
old time sake.
I was just feeling some kind of way. Look,
my God! Wait a minute.
I'm missing.
Pull that one up.
No, what happened?
Oh no, I'm pulling up a song. Kelvin just.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Wait a minute, I can't.
YouTube won't like that.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I just don't like that. No, look, hey, look. If you know, if you saw my post, and I miss having active administrators, and we can say what we want about, some of the previous folks in the position, because everybody is not for everybody. But I do appreciate the hardworking women who were leading our athletic department. And I'll just leave it at that. And they can be missed. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. 19 wasn't for everybody. 18 wasn't for everybody. Okay. Miss them both. That's just, I say it. And if I had a picture with 19, I'd have posted that too. But I had a picture with 18. It just so happened, we kind of coordinated. We coordinated, it just, it is what it was.
You were reminiscing.
I was reminiscing. I had to go deep into into my Google Photos to go find it.
Yeah, you ain't just pop up. It ain't just pop up on you.
No, well, okay. Anyway, I will say this though. It was only 2 years ago. That photo that I posted was only 2 years ago. I thought it had been longer than 2 years, but it's only been 2 years. A lot has happened in 2 years, has it not?
Oh yeah.
Jesus, a lot has happened in 2 years. Okay, I can't even see what half of you guys in the chat. Some of you are being messy in the chats. I don't know, but I'll come to it in a second. I'm sure you guys. I didn't even put up the little chat.
I gotta say this. The best troll, the best response to that post was and it was in a private area when it was suggested that maybe you want to try a DM instead.
See,
oh man,
my brother,
right.
I'm
That's
with you,
all
my
right.
brother. I'm down with you. I'm in that foxhole with you, bro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Campbell.
I'm
Oh
not
my
even
God.
like Campbell's going in. I'm not even going. Like I said, I'm not even putting the chat up yet because this mess. Y'all call me messy. I'm gonna just let y'all end up having your fun.
Oh man,
Y'all are messy. Anyway,
got possessed by the diamond earring. Just started.
we got a good show for you tonight. Joining us at the bottom of the hour is our GOAT, the Gokhan himself, 4-time SWAC champion. Coach Gokhan Yilmaz returns to the O&G StrikeZone coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We got him into the 8:30 slot. That way, we don't have to, he's already a little bothered. So I know he's going to come in shooting darts. And so at least we got him into 8:30. He would have killed us if we brought him in at 9 o'clock. It would have just been murdered. You'd have seen 3 dead bodies on the screen. That's just all I'm going to say. So hopefully, Coach, he doesn't put us down too bad. But we love having Coach on. And volleyball season is right around the corner. I believe the first
exhibition tomorrow, I think.
Exhibition games tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's that soon. So we'll get a chance to talk about the season preview for the volleyball team and season. And then coming up at the top of hour 2, we will have the first 2-show. I want to make sure I say this right. The first multi-award winner of our O&G awards. And I say in one show, a multi-award winner in one show. That's the first time it's ever happened. Coach Ericka Cromartie will come in and join us. Of course, she was voted on by you, the people, as the Women's Sport Assistant Coach of the Year and the Kofi Hemingway Most Spirited Rattler Award winner. So she won 2 awards in one show. First time that's ever happened. So we'll kind of get a chance to talk, and her return visit to the O&G. So we'll get a chance. I don't know. Is this the first we've had a chance to talk to her since she's been on the staff the last 2 years?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been 2 years since we talked to Coach Cromartie. So we get a chance to kind of really get a feel for what it's been like in the first 2 years, the growth of the sisterhood, and just all the wonderful things that we're seeing from Coach Gordon and the women's basketball program. So a lot of excitement we have to talk about. You guys, well, I tell you. Also, I want to definitely on air here give a shout out to Kelvin Rozier, who did a great job with our 2026 season preview, FAMU football season preview. And thank you to everybody that has been reading the work on Substack. Hopefully you all are subscribing. You're signed up to be a subscriber. We're making the dedication to do more things.
Yep.
You're going to start to see some stuff from Marcus Green. You're going to start to see some stuff from Keith Hadley as we start to sort of expand a lot of the stuff that, that Marcus and Keith do a great job with recruiting. But we are going to add more meat to that. So we're going to actually, whether it be whether it be once a week or something, we're going to add a little depth into the recruiting information, from the various sports, who's getting offers, who's committing, things of that nature. So you want to subscribe to that. It might be because we're out here, we're struggling artists here. We're trying to live. We're trying to do things. We got some things that we're working on. So something like that recruiting stuff, maybe you're going to see most of it behind a subscriber fee. So, we're going to do other stuff as well on the free content side. But, the recruiting in-depth information, you're going to start to see that behind the subscriber wall a little bit for that content, because like I said, I know Marcus and Keith, man, you guys do a lot of work with that, and it is so we want to keep that going and keep those guys happy somewhat. They don't ask a lot, but we do want to keep them happy. So we want to make sure we all do that. So please make sure you're subscribed to the Substack page. I'll put the link again up from the article that Kelvin did, and then how you can subscribe as well. So we'll put all that up. We'll get all that squared away here. All right, let's do the shout outs before we get into some of the headline news.
We might want to skip the shout outs and jump into the headline news, I think.
You want to skip shout outs? Look at Kelvin want to skip the shout outs. Okay. I mean,
Yeah, we got some stuff.
Well, so obviously let's okay, since I'm skipping that, let's start with practice one. Let's start with football practice one, because you were there.
Yep.
And before we get into the news that came out in the last 48 hours, let's talk about practice number one. Give us some takeaways, Kelvin. What kind of things did we see? What can you share about what you saw from practice one? And I'll if I can find the video, there's a great video recap that TK did on YouTube. I'm gonna see if I can find that link, and I'm gonna post it, or heck, I may even show a little bit of it. I don't know, but go ahead, start, Kelvin, and I'll see what I can find here while you're talking.
Observation one for me was the loudness of practice. And what I mean by loudness is the defense was on one side, the offense was on the other, and there was competition going on. And after every play, there was a rooting and cheering and let's get them. Also, when people made mistakes, there were coaches that were coaching. It sounded like a football field. Anybody who's played football for coaches who are passionate and has a standard of excellence, you hear some choice words sometimes when you don't do what is expected of you. So you heard the coaches, you heard the players. It was very encouraging. The pace of practice was really something that I took notice of too, particularly offensively. And then I guess takeaway. So noise and communication. There was good communications as play going on. Defense kind of communicating with each other. So that communication was the first thing that stood out to me that was different. A position group that really had a great day, receivers. And notice I didn't mention their name. I said receivers, because literally they were at least five deep that were making plays consistently and showed explosiveness, athleticism. Didn't see the ball hit the ground hardly at all. And I think Coach Gray in his after his comments after the scrimmage kind of said, that was the one group that really stood out. And since we're going to that Gulf Coast offense and fast pace, then I think that's significant. The other standout on offense was absolutely Kelly. I mean, when he gets in space, man, he's just magic. So there's a lot to be cited. The defense, however, was very competitive. And what I mean by that, we were last in a lot of categories last year defensively, and turnovers and sacks and interceptions were part of that. And we did see some of that with the defense. They may have gave up some plays, but they made some plays also. And for the first scrimmage of the season, that's a positive, because a lot of times you hear the old adage, that the offense is ahead of defense, and I mean the defense is ahead of offense. But it was some good competition. Isaiah knows. I mean, he's like a coach on the field. So our offense is already, at a good spot. The backup quarterbacks were really solid, really pretty good. They were pretty good. And for me, Parker has a chance, as a true freshman. He has a chance because he throws a pretty good ball, but then he has that athleticism too. And for a true freshman, he showed some good poise and decision making. So, but in general, that group, as a group, they look solid. The thing that I think, the takeaway that I think that most people had that would be a concern potentially, depth and size on the offense and defensive line. They have length, 6'3", 6'4". They have a length. They don't have a lot of girth in some of them. 270, 280. We got a couple of 300-pounders, but not a whole lot. So it'll be important with the schedule we have that they stay healthy, I think. But because of our schemes, it's not really, I'm not as concerned as some people would be. Because first of all, because the kids can play. I mean, they legit D1 players, right? And they're not far from what you would expect in terms of size and athleticism. But more importantly, I think what some folks might miss is the schemes we're running. So we're running a up-tempo, fast-paced version of the Gulf Coast, where we're probably going to wear out a lot of teams by the third, fourth quarter, especially in September when it's hot. On the defense side, remember we've got a lot of different blitz packages and things we're going to be doing that's going to test the eyes of the other defense. I mean, of the offense, and so I think we have the personnel for what we're doing in spades. Just maybe not have the safety net. So, but just in general, overall take, man, we light years ahead of where we were the last couple of years for sure. And there's reason to be optimism. Have some optimism, and it would not shock me if we average 30+ points a game.
Well, that's the mark, right? That's the mark.
Yeah.
What does the rest of the schedule look like, Kelvin? In terms of practices, is there a second scrimmage, so on and so forth?
Yeah, there'll be one more scrimmage this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And the schedule up until this point has kind of followed the same thing, where they're Monday through Thursday, and then scrimmage on like a Saturday, but they will be turning into check-in for housing starts for all students next week.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have some of those APR things we got to deal with in terms of Monday practice and stuff. So I think coach kind of indicated, I think we'll be shifting a little bit the schedule next week to what it will look like for the season. And we'll also start game prep. Actually, he said probably this weekend, and for multiple games. South Carolina State Miami is a quick turnaround. He noted that, and so they had some final installations packages that they wanted to put in this week, but he said by the weekend, they would start doing some game preparation in terms of the coaching staff anyway. So that's what it's going to look like. They're going to go to more of the regular schedule next week. Of course, we play at 7:00 at night, so it made sense. It rained a little bit before the scrimmage. It threw down actually but it was real brief before the scrimmage Saturday, and so of course it made sense to scrimmage at night in Bragg, in the afternoon in Bragg, because that's when we will be playing. So for the whole month of September. So
all right. Any other questions or thoughts, Marcus? You have, or what's not? We've seen the roster. Any things related to the roster that you can add or want to add?
I don't know if we'll get to it later, but I did peruse it real quick and put some kind of marker on our previous slides for 2026 class on the ones who are actually listed and the ones that are not listed for whatever reason, whether they're not on the team, whether there's still some compliance or eligibility review that has to go on. But just put a check mark of who's listed and who's nothing on left it blank for who's not. I guess question for you, Kelvin, and it may be too late just for the roster, but with the ruling that's going back and forth daily with the NCAA in the fifth year or given a class of 22, are there any players that you know of that A, could be eligible, or B, that we would want to come back on the team that are class of 22?
I do not know the answer of that. I haven't heard anything, but I'll probably try to dig around and inquire and see what's going on. But that's such a hard thing to do at this point.
Yeah.
Because you've had guys since the summer working out and everything, and not knowing that this ruling would come. I can think of one or two guys that would probably be particularly helpful. Some offensive linemen specifically, but I don't know if we're in a position for that to happen or not. So to be continued.
Okay.
EA
asked the question, Kelvin, did they do anything related to special teams and kickoffs or field goals kicking?
They did. They did some special teams work. And what I would say is it was solid. I mean, we typically have solid kicking game. The punting was, what it was last year. I mean, we got our punter returning. So, and then kickoff, field goals. I don't recall many misses. So I think it's probably where it need to be. Now the return game probably would be very exciting. And and you can kind of guess the with the speed, the guys that we brought in who are the likely candidates to be returning kicks and punts. But I will say this: anytime our returners have the ball, if they get a crease, and then we have like two specifically, and I'm not gonna say who, but there's two specifically that even if we don't get that first block, can make a man miss and still hit that crease and go. So I'm really excited to see if that what kind of impact that will make, and does it project what I'm projecting? Will it play out that way?
All right. I do want to show, we got some images that came out, when did this come out? Monday or over the weekend, related to some exciting new returns.
Hey, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. The boom is coming back.
Yes.
Not the band, but the cannon.
That is beautiful. Can't wait.
I don't know which end zone would that be a south end zone by the field house thing, or will it be?
Yeah, it'll stay in the same end zone.
All right. Has there been any pre-fired shots off just to kind of get a feel for the sound? Do we know?
I don't know. Tests. I'm sure it will happen, but I doubt it's happened thus far. You got a budget for that. You don't want to use too much. especially if we put up the points we may be putting up, especially that first game.
Yeah. So the cannon, as Coach Gray said, the cannon is back, and you can see it there. A little color coordination. Well, I don't think the old cannon was color painted orange and green. It just was an old black cannon, wasn't it?
It was straight from the ROTC, and they used to pull it in from a base from somewhere. Now this was specifically bought for athletics. So
yeah. And another thing within the football offices and hallways, some of the new imagery or the wall wraps, as you can see there on the right. And then there's some other images around the office, in the hallways. I guess that one on the left. Yeah, thank you. A better way of saying it. A little bit of rebranding happening around the inside of the building, down in the hallways. So not bad. Not bad at all. Good stuff.
Showing a little pride. Love it.
Yeah, definitely. So, good stuff. Congratulations on. Now we did find out some numbers, Kelvin. I believe you learned some official numbers or official numbers from the strike tour. All the money, at least to this point, has been gathered up and totaled up. And what's the number that you found or you heard about?
The number that I was given officially is $133,000 thus far.
Okay. All right. 133,000. 133. And one of the pictures that I just remembered that is not shown is was it the scissor lift?
Yes. Yes.
That is
two
out.
Of them. Two scissor lifts. Yeah.
Okay. And
they'll be used for filming practices at the practice field as well as the games on game day.
Okay.
We used to lease them. Now
I was going to say, I thought they used to be leased. So now we own them.
Yeah. And we also, athletics also owns a paint machine.
The what?
The paint machine to paint the practice fields.
Oh, yeah.
It used to, physical plant used to do that with their machines, but athletics have their own machine now.
Mm-hmm. And I do know there were some conversations and some people asking questions about the cooling zone, which we've showed previously. That is a rental.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rental unit, and that cost for the rental is probably a 2-month rental, if that.
It's for the seat. I think it's 4 months.
I think 4-month rental. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I think cost effectively, it doesn't make sense to own that piece, especially if you're not going to.
I don't know that. I need more information to be able to.
I think you need to have full-time people willing to clean it on a regular if you're going to use it. But isn't there temperature and heat considerations as well? Right? I mean, because by the time you hit November, is it really as effective as its intended purposes in the fall?
Well, sometimes, I mean, between the end of October and November, usually cool down when the fair comes. But also in November, it does still be 89 degrees in the day, 85. So in Tallahassee, so there's still use for it. Let's put it that way.
I love this right here. These are the kind of eyes that we have on everything. Jens P. asking about the practice field gets sodded. That grass is too long. Unreal. I would have never. What did the grass look like out on the practice field when you saw it, Joey?
The grass is fine. It's not a bunch of holes. Coach would bring it up if it was if they still got the same contractor who cuts it. The weather sometimes can impact, and them practicing can impact the regular schedule. There's a schedule where it gets cut, but sometimes the weather and the practice schedule don't cooperate with it, and so it may go a couple of days longer. But honestly, it's in pretty good shape this time of year.
Now, you mentioned, or we mentioned a couple of weeks back, that when we knew or heard the first that number was over 100,000, there was talk about some of that money going towards rev share.
Don't know nothing about it. Hadn't heard anything further.
I know, but it's we're gonna ask it, and we'll see if because that was the ask by the coaches, right? And so we'll see if administration holds to that. So we'll keep you updated. We didn't forget, and so as we know more, we'll let you know more. All right.
Yeah.
Coming up later in the show, we'll talk about one of the long-standing traditions of FAMU football games, which for right now seems is coming to an end. We'll tell you more about that later in the show. That's called a tease, folks. No earrings needed to tell you that. But also, so after the break, we're going to talk to Coach Gokhan, the GOAT, the 4-time SWAC champion himself, returning to the O&G StrikeZone. And, we got to keep Coach happy. So we'll take this short break and come back, and we'll find out about what the 2026 Rattler volleyball team is going to look like on the court. I just was looking at the schedule, and I saw some updated news regarding that match that we thought was going to happen tomorrow. So we'll talk to Coach about it and see what else is in store for this upcoming year. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Hang tight with us. We'll be back in just a moment with Coach Gokhan Yilmaz. This is Bryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game. It's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins. The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain. Available now. Let the journey begin.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
The champs are here. 2 teams, 2 legacies, 2 championship-winning coaches on one stage. The 2026 Orange Blossom Classic. South Carolina State Bulldogs versus the FAMU Rattlers. September 6th, Labor Day weekend, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. You don't just want to watch it, you want to feel it. The sound of the bands, the energy in the stands, and the pride on every play. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com. Built on history, fueled by pride.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Joining us right now is not only the back-to-back champion of SWAC volleyball, but the 4-time winner, 4 in the last 5 years, the GOAT himself, Coach Gokhan Yilmaz. Coach, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone, sir. How are you?
Thanks for having me back. Yeah, I appreciate you all.
Well, you know, Coach, the last time you came on the show, you were predicting what we saw in that SWAC tournament. The whole wanting the 1 seed. You got the 1 seed, and then you ran through the rest of the field. It was an amazing tournament. Seeing how the 5, 6, 7, and 8 seeds all won opening round games, I believe, if I have that right. And then, of course, you know, it was a championship match between, you know, we were an 8 seed, and I don't know what was Southern, like the 6 seed or something like that. But just an incredible season. So how's the off season been for you, Coach? How you feeling these days?
We had a good spring. We ended up adding 2 athletes in the first transfer portal. Deja Williams transferred from UConn. She's going to be a big contributor this year. I think she's going to play on the right side for us. And then Kelly Kelsick transferred from University of North Dakota, another Houston player we added on our roster. And we're expecting big things from her in the back row. More productive than the year before, for sure. And then preseason has started for the summer. Majority of the athletes here working out with our strength and conditioning coach, which we have a phenomenal one this year. She's doing great things with the athletes. We're happy with the way it started. Unfortunately, we have some injuries early on. That's why I think you referenced back to the UNF game that ended up being canceled due to us being short in a couple of positions. But majority of those athletes are expected to be back in the next 2-3 days. None of them are season ending. None of them are going to be long-term, it looks like, but one maybe 6 weeks or so. But everybody will eventually be back and be ready to go.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. Go ahead, Marcus. We'll start with you. Go ahead, Marcus.
Oh, good evening, Coach. Thank you for coming back on the show. I wanted to ask, in terms of building off of last year's success, going forward, what's going to be the mantra for this year as it relates to going further, once again, capturing the SWAC, but also going further in the NCAA?
Yeah, I think this is my 9th year starting here. So every year you learn different things. And every year you find people within your team, from the players, that have valuable feedback on what things you can do different, because every group dynamic is different. Every team is different. So that was our focus for the spring. And that was our initial meeting when we reported back, is what can we do or what should we do different this preseason? So our preseason schedule is way more comfortable, more beneficial for the conference. And we're not getting the same result we did last year, especially midway through the season. That being said, postseason, it's going to be, again, I keep talking about the same thing on your show in different places. There is a major gap between who we play and what we have. even within the conference starting this year, there are several programs that are offering more scholarships than we do. They have revenue share money. They have NIL money. So they're putting a lot of resources behind volleyball. So for us to remain competitive, we have to catch up with those especially, and then catch up with, mid-major programs like UNF, Mercer, those types. Then we can talk about how we can turn this into an NCAA tournament contender. But that's my challenge to the team this year. We have a lot of talent coming back. And if our preseason is good, we can play more competitive NCAA round game if we end up winning the championship again. But I think that gap is unfortunately widening instead of closing for us. And it can only be fixed by more revenue coming into the program and where the administration allocates those funds and helps the teams. And I think it's the same thing for all the programs here, not only football and basketballs, but it's the same thing for track, for softball, for tennis, golf, all of those. We're all on the same boat.
Thank you, Coach.
Go ahead, Kelvin. I'll come back. It'll come back to me. So go ahead, Kelvin. You go ahead.
Coach, I want to switch gears just a little bit. You've got a little coaching tree thing going on. Virginia State had a pretty successful season last year with one of your former players and grad assistants. And now Brooke is headed to the University of Memphis. Talk about your role in help developing young ladies, not only as players, but as coaches, and what it means to you to see them go off and follow and help start their careers and have success.
Well, that's our commitment to the athletes we bring into their families, where we don't only want to help them while they're in school, but after they graduate as well. And the ones that choose to be volleyball coaches, I was very happy to be able to afford the opportunity to those. And both of them, I cannot be more proud. They both will continue to do great things if they choose to stay in the profession. And I know they like where they're at. It always hurts when you lose them. Especially this year, it's a big time crunch for us to be able to replace Brooke, and she's done great things here with the program, not only as a player, but also as a coach. But we recently hired somebody. She's going to start next week. I'll wait for the website to release who it is. We haven't told the players yet. We're just waiting to make sure that the paperwork goes through. But it's somebody who played in an HBCU, was the MEAC Woman of the Year in her last year when she played. I think she's going to do great things here. She has a little bit more experience than Caitlin and Brooks starting. So I'm expecting her to come in and make impact. But again, as much as we hate, it's late. We have to deal with the preseason with 2 coaches only. But that doesn't change the fact that we're very proud of Brooke, and she's going to do great things at Memphis.
So is it, let me follow up to that. So right now it's just you and Coach Canfield, or you mentioned, is there another coach on staff with you?
No, only Steve and I.
Okay. And then this other coach will come in a little bit later. Okay, good deal. You mentioned roster sizes. So right now, when I look at the website, I see 17 young ladies on the roster. What is the number? I know the rules have changed recently in terms of what you can allow. What's your wish number? What do you wish you could be at? I mean, you mentioned what some other teams maybe within the SWAC are fielding. What's an ideal number for you?
Well, the NCAA limit is 18, but that is if you didn't grandfather any kids when they changed the rule. So NCAA allowed some exceptions. You could have used some kids as exception spots when they changed the rules. I didn't. I think above 18 is a little too crowded to train with and also to travel. And you can only put 6 on the court at a time. So that creates way more kids who don't play. I think Alabama A&M did that. They might be at 24 or 25. I don't know how many kids they have. But they see value in that. Kudos to what they're trying to do, and I think they're going to have a very strong team. But 18 is the NCAA limit. I feel comfortable anywhere between 15 and 18. And this year I tried to get to 18. The kid we thought would commit did not commit, so we're at 17 this year.
Okay. And speaking of the roster, no, last year was one of those years where you had the inexperience. And you mentioned, I think when we talked about how that maybe led to a little unevenness in our play, especially in the non-conference and even maybe early in conference play, but it settled itself out. What is the expectation with this group? Do you like that there is more experience? Do you feel comfortable with the experience? What are the early expectations for this team?
I mean, our expectation is always improving every time we practice. So it's hard for me to say we want to win a championship. We're in August, 12th right now. Championship is in November 22nd. That's just too many mountains to climb before we get there. And we don't know what those mountains will look like. We don't know what challenges we're going to face on the way there. We definitely want to be in the championship game again, but we need to continue to improve. But the reality of it, if we want, we only need to change one starting player. Somebody can slide into that position. Yerisal Rodriguez, which ended up being a fantastic player at the end, is the only starter we lost. We lost a back row player who came in and gave us a great lift. But, Sydney and Victoria Santana did a good job in that position, so they can split that. Or Kelly Kalsick came here to be able to give us a lift in that position too. But again, there is a lot of talent on this team. Some didn't play. Some were great players the year before, couldn't break into the starting lineup. So it might look different. It might be similar. It's very hard to say. We're just doing our best to collect numbers to see who fits next to who, if we can come up with creative situations to see how we can improve what we were doing. But for us in our program, it's always a daily challenge. Can you be better than what you were yesterday, not only as a player, as a coach, or whoever you are on the team? And that's what we're challenging ourselves to do, and that's what we're challenging our athletes to do as well.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Coach, I came across this summer a young lady, Tyler Grant. I'm actually looking at her Instagram now, and I'm not sure where her accolades happens to be, but she did a list of the top 5 volleyball schools or states at the high school ranks and maybe even the club level. And I've noticed over the last few years that we've gotten recruits from 3 out of those 5 states, being Illinois, Florida, of course, and Texas. And it seems like we've been getting the transfers in high school players from Texas. Can you speak to how the success of having won 4 out of the 5 SWAC titles has helped you to bring in that talent, but also having won 4 out of those 5, has it presented any challenges in scheduling?
Well, from a recruiting standpoint, obviously we know those states, and I think I saw the list. I agree with those 3 being in top 5, and then the other 2, you can argue California being in there. You can put several different ones, but we also think Georgia is a very good volleyball state, with Atlanta Metro being such a strong volleyball area, and we have a fantastic player coming from there next year. She's going to. She's very well known in the junior circuit. She played for one of the best teams in the country, if not the best, this year as a major player. She committed early. She's holding to her commitment. She's going to be a fantastic addition. We're adding some kids from DC area. We have one more coming in 27, another great player. We have another Houston player coming in 27. And 28, we have 2 commitments currently. One is from Jacksonville and one from Mobile area. So what it did, again, is FAMU is already a desirable place to be academically, tradition-wise. but volleyball being strong and coaching staff now being established and staying here for a long time, I think makes a big difference. And we have enough connections to be able to reach. Our recruiting budget has increased some, so that helped quite a bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, we don't look at the best states. We look at the best kid we see when we go to the tournaments. Like this year, we have a local athlete here that's from Godby High School, is going to develop into a very good player in the near future. I'm expecting her to do great things as well. Scheduling wise, I don't think it's causing us any issues. I think it's allowing us to play better and better competition. Maybe not the big names that we're playing, but if you look at our schedule, our second weekend, Jacksonville was top 100 in RPI last year, and they're going to return to us next year in our tournament. We play Coastal Carolina, usually a top 100 team, and Yukon from Big East is our second weekend. And third weekend here at home, obviously we're very happy Hampton is returning. We went to their tournament last year, but FIU is a very good team, and also Louisiana Lafayette, which is expected to be very good again this year. So it's attracting those teams to come and play us as well. So I think it's helping more than hurting in that sense.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Go ahead, Roger.
Speaking of scheduling, Coach, if we looked at it correctly, I think we got a couple of games around football games coming up, and I thought I saw a couple around homecoming. If that's the case, tell me logistically how you going to work that out.
Roger, you know something I don't know, or you're just trying to start something? What are you doing here?
Oh, no, of course, homecoming is when you want, you got big crowds there, and you all are such a successful program. So, of course, we want people to come out and to cheer the Rattlers on and the victory. But I was just wondering. I know a lot of times logistically that can be challenging. So I was just wondering. I guess the question is, do you anticipate all those games be played in Lawson?
Where's the game going to be at?
Well, the word I would like to use is ideally you want to play at home around homecoming. And we talked about, playing for the HBCU attendance record, which is only about 2,000 people, I believe. And conference sets the schedule, not us. So the schedule comes from the conference office. I was happy to see it's around homecoming here at home, but I don't think they will be played. I think they're going to be bumped to Sunday, Monday. There is so many conflicts with the facilities, and for whatever reason, it's impossible to find a way to fit volleyball in, even in some of the practice situations. It's ongoing fight that we will continue to lose. I don't know why, and I don't think winning helps. It's something that has to be an idea or showcase that the university buys into, where we're going to play this game here with this program that has done these things, and let's get 5,000 people. I believe we can get 10,000 people there. That place can be full.
That would be such an amazing thing.
But unfortunately, we just keep hitting the same hurdles, and then we keep getting knocked. We don't know how to clear those hurdles yet.
Let's Bryan and Rattler Nation, let's talk offline.
That was a great answer, Coach. I love the way you pivoted and the way you spun that one home. See, that was good. Well said. I would love to see that game be played in right where you're practicing, right there in the Gaither gym. I think that would be cool. I think, but I don't know.
So I can talk about that a little bit. We had the idea of playing in Gaither. Actually, Courtney Gaucher came up with this idea, and I liked the idea. But it's unfortunate that there's no improvements that are done in that building in order to be able to play Division I volleyball match. And I believe it's deemed from the risk management that you cannot pull the bleachers out and have more than a certain number of people to play a safe game. So I'm not certain that place is close enough in terms of the safety part and then how much improvements it needs in order to play a volleyball match there. But that was our idea with Courtney, his administration. I bought into that. I'm all for that. But believe me, there are times we cannot even get into that gym. That scheduling doesn't allow us to be in place where we're supposed to practice. And again, it's another ongoing issue, and we're hoping there's going to be more resolution in the future.
I understand, Coach. 1,500 people can fit in a probate show, but we can't get involved. Anyway, let me move forward. But anyway, Coach, let me ask this as we get ready to wrap up our time with you. I noticed looking at the schedule, we have a midweek game against Bethune-Cookman on the schedule this season. I don't recall too many midweek games in the past. Is this a first?
No, travel partner is always a midweek, one of the two games. One is on a weekend, one is on midweek, and that allows us to save a weekend where we can play additional out-of-conference game. So what it does is it saves us the fourth weekend in preseason by playing that match on a Wednesday. And then the second of that, either home or away, it changes every year, is on that Friday. And what it does is it gives you a couple of days break in midseason. So that one has always been on a Wednesday, one of the two.
Okay. I think when we were looking at the schedule a couple of weeks ago, I think we noted that it comes at a point when there's let me see, it in the state of Florida, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, all within 6 matches, all within the state of Florida. 5 of those 6 are at home, and it's a nice stretch there in looking at the schedule. I mean, obviously it's Bethune twice, you got the UAPB, Grambling, and then you have Southern and Alcorn, all in that same, in that 6 game match, or 6 match period over the course of 2 weeks. So I thought that was pretty good in looking at that. Any other final questions, Marcus, Kelvin? Any final questions that you want to get in for Coach?
Not right now. I'm thinking
we're gonna start.
Well, I always ask Coach. Yeah, I always ask Coach about his, the other teams, and I know the teams kind of are the same, and I always see that SWAC competitiveness is still elevating. But give me your handicap of the SWAC conference. Who the teams to look out for?
It's very hard to tell. They improve so rapidly in that first month. Some of them you're looking in the first couple of matches and you don't think there'll be a problem, and then they turn out to be fantastic teams. But by looking at the rosters, Alabama A&M should be the front runner. They're very good, good returning players, good transfers. I think they'll do very well. Besides that, Jackson State is bringing several good players back. Very good coach there as well. I think they'll be good. Bethune-Cookman added some good pieces. Alabama State, completely a new team. Very hard to know what they're going to look like, but their coaches usually do a good job developing those kids. So I would suspect the same ones. Prairie View obviously won the regular season last year. They got several returning players. They might be in the mix. And we're going to Texas this year to play them and Texas Southern. You never know how that trip is going to turn out. But we'll see how they all develop.
Okay. Good deal.
The season begins with an exhibition match now on August 23rd, which is Sunday, August 23rd, in Tallahassee, right there at the Lawson Center against Edward Waters of the SIAC. Then the regular season begins in Huntsville, Alabama, assuming this is an HBCU invitational, because we've got 3 schools from the MEAC, Delaware State, Maryland Eastern Shore, and North Carolina Central. Is this like a MEAC SWAC kind of thing that's being hosted in Huntsville, Alabama, Coach?
It is, yes. And that's why we entered that. We were expecting a couple of other teams to be there also. Brandon out of Alabama A&M does a good job putting that tournament together. I think he has some funding behind it as well. So we're expecting it to be a good start for the season. But yeah, that's the reason why we attended. I think there are 4 teams from each side, but you only play 3 of the 4. So we're expecting it to be competitive, with Delaware State and UMass being a couple of the opponents that we play this year.
Congratulations, Alabama A&M, doing something big again, right? I mean, a MEAC SWAC challenge. Who would have thought that was possible? I mean, look at that. MEAC versus SWAC in volleyball. I mean, it's too easy. It's a layup. I mean, so we're going to promote the heck out of it that weekend to kick off the volleyball season. And then it'll be on SWAC TV, I'm sure, because it's going to be up at Alabama A&M. They do a great job with their broadcast, so everyone will get a chance to see it, and that'll be a great weekend. That'll be really fun to watch, Coach. I'm excited about that. Any last words? Anything? Any other things you want to, shout out to Rattler Nation? How can we continue to support the program? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anything, Coach? I'll give you the last word.
Hey, I'm not the O&G StrikeZone Coach of the Year, but I'll still say something. Well, I think it's really impressive, the talent that we see when you present the awards. If you look all across the board, the champions, the All-Americans, the Player of the Years, and I really am proud of the women's sports, especially how well they're doing. Yeah. And obviously we're known as a football school, right? So it's really good to see. And it was a down year for tennis. Obviously tennis always does very well, but softball being elevated again, women's basketball improving. Those are all really great things to see. And I think we will continue to do well and improve. And Coach Gray is doing great things with the football program again. So I think they will elevate. I mean, what Charlie Ward has done in his first year is really great also. But I'm very proud to be in that group that when you post those awards, there's 4 or 5 teams that are champions. And I look at the kids that are candidates, that there's a lot that have won. But that being said, we really need help as a volleyball program, even from Fang Exchange or supporters, where we have kids that are choosing to come to FAMU to play for our volleyball program. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you an example. The 2027 athlete we talked about can go to pretty much 80% of the Power 4 schools, and she's still holding on to her commitment. The 2 2028 kids that committed to us, one had her first offer from University of Georgia, the first offer University of Georgia made in 2028 class. The other one, the first offer from University of Alabama. So we can get these kids here, but we got to be able to keep them. And the game has changed. But I want to express that we need as much help as possible from supporters and from the department, so the kids feel valued. I think it comes to a point where you can also do so much, but once you miss that train, once you miss that bus, you might go back 15 years, and then catching up will be even more difficult. Because if you remember, when I came here in 2018, volleyball did not win a championship for 11 years. And it took us 5 years to get it off the ground and get going. And now we can really steamroll and do better things. And that's what you asked in the beginning. Yeah. How do you be more competitive in the NCAA tournament? This is the time to hit that ball out of the park. And it can only happen with more support. But the talent level that we're bringing in, that we're reaching, is really exceptional at that point. But we really need that help.
You get more bang. You can get more bang for the buck with these championship women sports. number one. Number two, in terms of the O&G awards, part of the thought process when we started to coach was to make sure that we use our platform to give visibility to the program. So that's why we always have all the coaches on. We try to get athletes on, and we have those categories, and we try to represent all the sports, right? And both coaches as well as athletes, and then teams. But we don't control the voting, Coach.
Hey, I'm not
always say
about the voting. I'm the one that's always on the board, never wins, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not lobbying for myself. Last year, I don't think was usual for us, and we're going to do better this year.
Coach, we're going to stand on the table and let the world know the SWAC keeps disrespecting us with their voting, and we're going to keep fighting for FAMU volleyball, Coach. We appreciate you. We love you. We love the program. We're gonna keep fighting. So we're gonna stand on the table and keep shouting, Coach. We got you. We got you.
Hey, Coach. I remember something you said last time you was on, Coach. Just because you don't see me sitting behind the bench don't mean I ain't in the building. You just got to look up top. I rarely come down close enough for you to see me.
A long walk back up for him.
But I'm in the building, and I'll be in the building as much as possible. Again,
Kelvin, everywhere I go, I see you. I go to baseball, I see you. I go to basketball, I see you.
Championship. Hey, I was on the floor, Coach. I was on the floor. I was on the floor when the championship, the trophy was being presented. Now I right there on the floor for the.
Championships will bring him to the floor, Coach. That's what it is. He wants to be seen on TV for the big games.
A lot of people there. Yeah, okay. But I give credit to Kelvin. Kelvin is right. Every sport you go to tennis, Kelvin is there. You go to baseball, Kelvin is there. You go to volleyball, now I know you're there. I was kind of questioning you a little bit, but I'm glad to know now.
All right, I'm going to come down just for you, Coach. You don't call me out publicly.
I got you.
All right, Coach, we're going to keep standing on the table, and we're going to try to get those crowds to keep coming in. And we're doing some things to hopefully engage with some of the student body and, try to get more students to come and watch the exciting brand of volleyball that you guys play. We got some great young ladies out there, some hard workers, and, we know it's a championship program. And so I think the students are missing out. And the community, but we're gonna keep pubbing as hard as we can for you, Coach. All right.
Appreciate everything you all are doing for all sports.
And by the way, you see what Ash just said? Fang Strange said they're gonna holler at you, Coach.
Sounds good.
All right. Coach, we'll talk more offline. Good health, great start to the season, and we'll talk a little bit more down the road. Okay.
Again, I appreciate you all. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach. All right, good stuff. All right, Coach Gokhan Yilmaz, 4-time SWAC championship coach, if not a multi-year SWAC coach of the year, he probably should be.
He is multi.
Okay.
And he's won 4 out of the last 5. Championships, man. I mean,
I know. I said that. I'm just saying y'all coach of the year.
All y'all voters, Coach talking about y'all. He wasn't talking about me then.
Yeah, no. That's all right. It's one of them things. I mean, it's a lot of 400 plus voters. So a lot of great participation. So hey, guess what, Marcus? That sounds like a great first Substack article that we can start putting together on those outstanding volleyball recruits. Can't wait to see that article on Substack. And that one might be on a subscribers page. Just letting you know, go subscribe to our Substack page and be ready for those subscriber-based articles on recruiting, where we talk not just football, but we talk, Marcus talks recruiting for all the sports. So, those
even
articles are going to be fun. Even the club sports. So we can't wait to get that segment of our coverage going. Let's take a quick break.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that the coaches actually watch and athletes. They watch and they care about the O&G awards. So,
I'm I love it. I love it. The competition. Look, I expect the voting to even double next year. We had about 400. I expect the voting to double next year, and it keeps getting better. Maybe next year we actually might do something where we actually do it live. You know, we actually kind of invite everybody in and we do it live. I don't know, Kelvin. I'm just talking, but anyway, let's yeah, I am. Let's go to break and come back with Coach Ericka Cromartie. She's been great hanging out in the back room for waiting on us to bring her on. So coming up is Coach Cromartie, the first 2-time in one award show winner of the O&G Award. So she's another hashtag FAMU legend, hashtag O&G legend. Coming up right on the other side. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Oh my God! This is your invitation to the moment. The Divine Nine, the bands, the parties, the performances, creating memories with your people. So pull up to the 2026 Orange Blossom Classic. It just hits different. Labor Day weekend, Miami Gardens, Florida. It's the culture, the connection, the pride. One weekend, one experience, one big community. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
This is Bryan Fulford. A.D. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube, Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Register your business for the premier urban business directory in the country, the Urban Passport. Visit myjbn.com/passport. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in primetime with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pre-game for fans, jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Joining the show coming up right now is the first person to win not one, but two O&G awards. Women's Sport Assistant Coach of the Year, and then the Kofi Hemingway Most Spirited Rattler Award, a record setter, also a multi-time high school state championship coach. Let's bring on none other than friend of the program, Coach Ericka Cromartie. Coach,
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, Coach?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us, Coach, and congratulations on being recognized. Being first off, being recognized as one of our top assistant coaches, and then most importantly, the people voted for you, Coach. And then I think what also speaks to you is you winning that the Kofi Hemingway Most Spirited Rattler Award, which is a write-in. So
yeah,
just let's start there. Kind of, what are your thoughts on being recognized and being recognized with those awards?
Well, before I even get to that, I want to make sure I told you guys thank you for bringing me on the show, because I remember coming on when I was at the high school. So to be back, it's like, oh, wow, that's full circle. Because I know you didn't even have to have me on as a high school coach, but you did. So I really appreciate that. So now to come back as an assistant basketball coach, I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
full circle. But to answer your question about the awards, I mean, I was just outdone. I mean, I was overjoyed. Like I told some of my family and friends about it, and I was just like, okay, if y'all get a chance, vote. But to hear that they went like over and beyond and some, just kind of like made me feel like, wow, this community is definitely behind me, and they're really watching what I do and, how I impact some of the lives of the youth. So to me, that was the biggest thing. Of course, I was happy I won, but to see, I think you said that it was like the most votes in history or something like that.
This was a great year. I mean, the community, the people who watch us, the players, the families really got involved. I mean, we tripled our numbers this year. And so, like I said, not only was it a record number of people who voted, but then, like I said, we got our first two-show, I don't even know if I'm still saying it right, but two-time winner in one show. It's the first time that's ever happened. So just all kinds of records being set, Coach.
Thank you. I mean, all glory to God. I mean, and I looked at it, I was like, I must be doing something right with somebody. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get better at my craft and just be a better person too as well. That's all.
Yeah.
So let's start there. As you mentioned, we were talking about this. I don't know that we talked about this first segment or offline, but 2 years ago, before you even came on staff, we talked to you when you were still over at FAMU DRS, FAMU High, as Kelvin likes to say. And so now, you've been with Coach Gordon the last 2 years. Let's talk about just what the transition has been like. How has your role grown, and what kind of, let's start there with how your role has grown over the past 2 seasons or 2 years
so
even.
When I first arrived, I arrived November 8th, and how I know what it was is my mother's birthday. That was my first official day on the job. So imagine you starting there November 8th, and actually that was the first game too. They played Florida State. So I really was like thrown into it. At the moment I was scared to death because I'm thrown into a Division I program. But I'm hindsight now, I'm kind of happy I was thrown in it, because now it's like I kind of know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, because of the experience that I had. So I've made leaps and bounds since then. I've learned a lot, made mistakes, but at the same time, I really feel myself grow through all those experiences. And some of the experiences that I had here were some of the experiences I had at the high school. Granted, it was at a lower level, but sometimes it's still the same. It's like teaching. You got different kids, but some of them had the same traits as other kids you had that you taught. So all those experiences just helped me to be where I am now. I mean, I still have a way to go, but I've definitely came up a long way from where I started. When I first got there, I was primarily more so just kind of like assisting with other coaches with the things they had already started. But as the years went on, I started being over more things and kind of taking over the guards, doing the paperwork, doing the community service events, like just really getting myself out there, going to workshops, recruiting. So I got my hand in a lot of things in the program. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Coach, I'm wondering, is there, first of all, tell everybody, in terms of your responsibility and just of coaching, what group players that you coach, and then kind of talk about the difference between the high school where you had elite success and coaching, and what some of the differences and things that you had to learn.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, sometimes when you don't have a lot to work with, it's good. I mean, in the moment you don't like it because you kind of getting it from the grind. But from being at the high school, yeah, we had a lot of success, but there's a lot of things I had to like get on. I had to get, like I had to make happen. And nothing against the school, it's just the resources that we had. So
Right.
I had to improvise, and a lot of those things I improvised, it helped me with relationships that I use now.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of how I'm doing it at university. Same relationships I had. I reach out to them. Some of the people that taught me things, I reach out to them. Different organizations, different former coaches, retired coaches. Like I use all of it. So even though it was a hindrance in my eyes, it really was a blessing because I was able to be adaptive and do more things. So now, like I said, I'm primarily over the guards. This summer workouts was really, really good. Like we did a lot of different drills, game simulations. Like if you ever seen the high school teams I had, my guards we went after it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to instill into this program here. Like we gotta be feisty, we gotta play hard. That's how the SWAC is.
Yeah.
Leave nothing behind. Like you playing 40 minutes, you playing on both sides of the court. So, so just kind of giving them that mindset, like, you got to be all out. So we did a lot of drills and competitive drills and strategies to kind of get them to see, definitely working on your weaknesses. Like that's a big thing of mine. Like you want the kids to be uncomfortable so they can, when the game comes, they're used to those situations. So a lot of those things we did this summer. And then a lot of bonding things too, like sisterhood events. We did a painting and a twist for like camaraderie. We did a bowling night. We just did a lot of things to kind of like get them to have sisterhood on and off the court.
All right. Love it.
Nice.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, good evening, Coach. I wanted to ask, in your transition from the high school level to the college level, how has it helped your professional relationships in expanding your network and the breadth of people that you've gotten to meet and people that you can now call upon to help you in your professional career?
That's a great question. Just this past recruiting event, I was in Orlando, and as I'm sitting there, observing the talent and seeing what we could use at FAMU, because as you have good players, but they got to be able to fit the system. They got to be able to fit the landscape and the culture. So just because they're good doesn't necessarily mean they're good for your program. So I'm sitting there, jotting down some notes, and in comes University of South Carolina associate head coach, and she sits like right beside me, and so I'm looking like, OMG, like how do I approach her? Do I talk to her? Am I a fan or am I a colleague? You know what I mean? So she actually started talking to me, and she was asking me different questions, and then I could tell when I started answering certain questions a certain way, her eyebrows raised like, oh, she must know what she's talking about. And so she gave me her phone number. She told me to call her anytime, and we keep in contact now as we speak. So I mean, just those situations. One time before, when I met Coach Reed from Charlotte, former Jackson State coach, me and her had a good rapport. I mean, I don't want to name drop, but it's
Go ahead, Coach. Name drop. Go ahead, man.
Poppy collar, Coach.
Secrets, but it's more. But even now, like Coach Summer, like she's gonna always be there for me. Like she was there for me when I was at the high school. She's a former Florida State coach as well. Coach Brooke at Florida State. Like it's more. I don't want to go through all of that, but just to have those people to bounce off of. And to this day, my goddad, Coach Bryan at Ericka, I still call him about different things that he might think I should, look at or whatever. And I'm always watching the game from college to the WNBA. So like I said, and I think that comes from teaching. You just know you got to keep evolving. You got to keep learning, So I just try to stay in it. I mean, I love college football, though, but I like basketball as well.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, I was thinking here as it relates to hold on. You when you name dropped, I know South Carolina likes to visit HBCUs. I know they like to play at HBCUs. So hopefully I'm just speaking out loud here, Coach. So I'm not putting words in your mouth. It'd be nice to see South Carolina come on down to play in that 10,000 seat arena that we got at Lawson.
We got to speak it into existence. And she was even at the recruiting tournament. She was even showing me people like, hey, look at her, Coach. You think she'll fit your program? Like, she was really, really, really nice. Like, I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed speaking with her. And she was like, don't hesitate. You need to call me. Any questions you have, you want to come to a game, just let me know. So her name is Lisa Bauer. She's really, really cool.
So one of the things that I think really speaks to the culture that Coach Gordon, you, and the other assistant coaches have built is that this past offseason, FAMU's women's program was one of maybe, I'm going to say a handful. I know there was only 2 maybe programs in all of HBCU women's basketball, but when you look across all of college basketball, one of the few programs that didn't have a player get in the portal. And we know what that looks like these days, where a lot of kids are looking for things at other places and the circumstances, they leave. But I thought it spoke volumes to the type of young ladies who came in last summer and that they're staying, like they bought in. What can you take us in? And when you're involved in the recruiting, what is that process like? I mean, what does that mean to you? And Coach Gordon's talked about it, but to you, someone who's out there constantly talking to people, what's it like when you're able to say, we didn't lose anybody in the portal? All these young ladies who are coming in are either people because we had open spots, right, through graduation, but we didn't have a player get in the portal. What's that like on the recruiting trail when you're able to talk to people about that?
Well, to be honest, it's kind of a little easy because everybody loves FAMU. Like, a lot of people we come in contact with, they love the brand. So, I mean, that's kind of the lead in right there. I mean, we go off of that, and then we set a program just off of the basis of that they love FAMU, and then the fact that we use our APR rate, which is pretty good. Like, our girls graduate, like they go to class, and Coach Gordon and all of the coaches are stickler on making sure that they get grades. I mean, because as we were taught, if you're gonna play, you got to go to school. I mean, that's just it. Especially as a female. I mean, nothing against the males, but females are typically known to get their work done. So we want to make sure that stays intact. And then, like I said, just want to make sure that the student is a student for your program. I think some coaches kind of miss that mark, or she can play, or she can do this, but does she fit what you're trying to do? So that's important as well, because you just don't want to get anybody. So, and then we're big on relationship with the family. I was big on that in high school, and Coach Gordon is big on that too. Like, you want to make sure that their likes, their dislikes, where they're from, what encourages them, what motivates them, what gets them upset. So just want to know about the whole athlete, not just the player.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask, I guess, along a similar vein, like that Bryan was asking, as it relates to recruiting, how is it divvied up? Do you guys have areas or geographic areas of responsibility? Do you have positional responsibilities for recruiting? Like, you identify people that you're the guards or someone that's more akin to what your area expertise happens to be? How does that translate?
So it is divvied out, like, your position. But at the same time, I'm not just going to go out and look at guards. If I see a post or center we could use, I'm definitely bringing their names back. And then, too, it's also based on what's needed at the moment. It's a need base as well, because you don't want to stack a certain position and then you got to figure out how you're going to play them all. You don't want to do that either.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Coach, I want you to talk about camps. Both camps you've already had, And then I know you got a elite camp coming up, I believe, in the next couple of weeks. And why is that important to the program?
Well, the we call it the little camp we had earlier this season. That's definitely important because that's your base right there. You know, I'm gonna go back. I was a K through 12 PE teacher for 15 years. So you see a lot of those kids come through there thinking they're gonna be the next Seth Curry or even Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. So that's where it starts. You know what I mean? And especially at a city as in like Tallahassee, where you have two big universities there, so they see it early. So to get those kids into the camp, I mean, that's like me and Coach was talking. That's where it starts. I remember going to the Claudette Farmer camp at NIMS when I was in elementary school. So that's how I kind of was introduced to FAMU. So that's, you want to make sure you keep your base. We try to invite all Leon County schools, Gaston, Jefferson, all the private schools as well. So that camp was a success. It wasn't as big as we, would like, but it could be intimate. So we still make sure it was hands-on, and we don't just let them play. We do drills with them. We teach them the fundamentals. And then, towards the end, we let them have gameplay. And the elite camp that's coming up on the 30th, that's more so for the eighth graders through 12th grade. Even some JUCOs, some transfers can come. And you just, more so just see, the talent. They'll play more games because they're older, but we'll still do, drills and fundamentals in the beginning. But the main thing is to see, their skill set and see how, if they can help you, or if somebody will keep an eye on our radar.
Okay. All right.
Let me go ahead and make sure to put that up just to let people know. Remind if you got a young lady that might fit in this grade 8 to 12, or might be in the portal, or maybe an unsigned JUCO, they can attend Coach Pressure's Elite Camp. $100 fee. It's August 30th at the Lawson Center. Registration's still open, so it's an all-day thing starting at 9:00, and good stuff.
Yeah, we have players student athletes that signed up from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Chicago, and some other places as well.
Awesome. All right.
Good stuff. Let's talk about now you said you're over the guards. So we gotta talk about,
I'll say that myself and Coach Hill.
Okay, yourself and Coach Hill. You two work on the guards. I want you to tell us a little about this young lady. Hold on, let me pull it up because we gotta give her props because she was the female. We cannot go through without talking about the female athlete of the year, Lil Mama Tanaja Purifoy.
Rightfully deserved. I think she deserved. I mean, nothing against the other candidates, but I think I probably biased too because I coach her. But I think she deserved it. Every time, and she always laughed when I say it. She called me Coach C, and I'm like, "Girl, you just so small, but you get it done." She has a heart of a lion. And sometime now, since we don't have the practice players there, so now I'm out there trying to play and guard them. And I know, I see how you look,
All right, Coach.
I don't get it twisted. I can still. I can still do a 1-2 now. I can still play a little bit. But I remember guarding her, and she's like, "Coach C, you can't guard me. You can't guard me." And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, I probably still can." But when I got to her, she's so low to the ground, it was just hard to cut her off. And I was just saying in my head, I can only imagine how the opponents are. Her cuts are so sharp and crisp, because she's low and she's so quick. And she's so elusive with the basketball. So now we're just trying to make sure, she continue to work on her outside shot, her floater, and just keeping her healthy from not, getting banged up and stuff like that. Not taking so many risks and, just kind of being more careful. But she's working hard. I mean, she deserves everything she get.
Yeah, she definitely, it was funny kind of always hearing Coach talk about that difference, even her first year when she came into the program. And I know that was a year where injuries really affected her season. And then we saw it last year when we got a chance to see it
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa, Coach Gordon wasn't lying to us. She is her. And so now it's like this year, we're really excited about what, she can bring. How about some of the other returners that have been making big strides in their game, and maybe some accolades that you want to throw at any of those young people that have been really working hard over the summer?
So with the returners, we already talked about we call her Mama, but Purefoy. Brooklyn Swan, I think she's actually improved with her ball handling. She's been with me for the most part with the guards, because I mean the landscape of the game is you got to be able to handle the ball. I mean, if you're not 6'5" or 6'6", you got to be able to handle the ball, because you got to create your shots or create shots for others. So she's been down there with me, and I've been making sure that, she work on her ball handling, and she's been embracing that pretty well. Another one, Tylen Payne, she's did very good this summer. She had a great summer. I think, she kind of got used to the program, used to how everything works. And I think more so her thing was just like confidence. Like she has confidence within herself now, and she understands her role. I'll say that. Naya Rose, she didn't finish out the season last year. She broke her hand after the Howard game. Straight shooter. I mean, she's just letting it shoot, letting it fly. We've been working on her with more so understanding that you're not going to just be able to just catch and shoot. Like you got to shoot off the dribble, shoot off the move, shoot off the screen. Like just getting her, comfortable doing that. Who else I would say? Zayna Justice, she's coming along too, I think, because the transition her freshman year last year, how it could be. So I think she's getting more comfortable within herself and understanding what she can do. So I would say those are the big. Oh, and Maya Giles Jones too. She's coming along as well too. My thing with her, and then I tell her this all the time, like, you just gotta understand what you can do. Like, you gotta understand, like, you can't guard me. Like, that's the mindset you gotta have. So I think she's starting to embrace that. So that's mostly for all the returners.
Nice. And then how about an amazing recruiting class, which I think is whenever you can get a state's best player.
Oh yeah.
I think it just speaks volume, and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's some great recruits in this class, but I think Kristen Johnson kind of jumps off the page, being the fact that she was Alabama's one of the best players recognized by the state of Alabama. What about the incoming recruit? And they're not all freshmen, so I can't even call them freshmen. But the incoming young ladies, the recruits. Can you talk about some of them?
Yeah, she's the out of the group. We call her the freshie. She's the only freshman that's out that group, but she can play. I'm gonna be honest with you. She can shoot, and when I said before about Naya teaching her to shoot off the dribble, that's what I've been doing with Kristen, because as you all know, sometimes high school. I won't say the game is watered down. That's not the word I'm trying to say, but it's slower. So high school, she was able to get you on the wing and you can just shoot a jumper. And I said, I'm 43 and I can go on the wing and I can just shoot a jumper. I said, so you get that's no longer. We're getting you to shoot off the dribble, shoot off screens, behind the bag, pull up, shoot. Like we throwing the bag at her and she's received it. Like she hasn't strayed away from it. She's asked me, Coach, you got some more stuff? Like she's been coming in doing extra work with me. Like she's gonna be pretty good. Like she has a big upside.
You got some gym rats this year, huh, Coach?
Yeah.
They can't keep them out of the gym.
Yeah, and then we have some transfers. We have Cameron Grant from Dayton, Perseus Williams from Winthrop. We have Rose Jameson from Billionaire out of Louisville, Kentucky, that university. Leah Sims out of Curso Community College. We just got and we got Breasia Court from Livingston College in North Carolina. So I mean, the thing is just making sure everybody can gel at the right time. I mean, that's the cohesiveness has to be there.
Yeah. All right. Any final questions, Marcus or Kelvin, that you got for Coach?
Coach, I noticed a lot of those names you mentioned, and this team seems to have a little more length than the previous couple of teams. what does that do in terms of particularly conference play? Does it allow you to add some tricks to the bag, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we definitely have more length this year, and that helps with making sure that the girls can play different positions. Like when we would split them up in guard post drills, I had a lot of forwards down there with me, because they're interchangeable. And with the length, that's hands in the passing lanes, that's rebounding, and now, like Coach Gordon was saying, I think she said in another interview, we don't really have to wait on Mama always to bring the ball down. Some of the forwards and the other guards can start it, and she can kind of be more off the ball now, instead of having to always bring it up. So, I mean, and like I was telling Coach Gordon, that's what you want, because I mean, you can interchange it, and there's no letdown off the bench. I mean, I said to myself, man, you take me back to the high school we was running it. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes. That's how you win games.
And to that point, Coach, do you all feel like you have the depth now where perhaps you can trap or speed up the game a little bit more?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I can even say it, but we've been working on some stuff. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
you're old, Coach.
Yeah, okay, you already know, Kelvin. Like, you already know the style I like. I mean, that's just how you gotta. Because what I tell people too, when your defense starts, it creates your offense. Like that's how the game gets going. That's how the girls get energetic, and So, and we have another addition, Dejana Barron. Her nickname is Cookie. She's gonna be joining us as well. 6'2", out of Chicago. She's coming from a JUCO, so she'll be with us the late edition. So, just trying to continue to work and get better.
Sounds good. Excited.
I one last question. I saw it come out of the chats. How would you describe sort of the expectations that Coach Gordon has on you, Coach Hill, Coach Palmer, just the rest of the staff? How would you describe, what she asks of you all, and how that looks behind the scenes, because we talk to Coach all the time. And so, I mean, we're blessed to be able to talk to you, one of our favorite assistant coaches. We love all the assistant coaches, but, obviously, we know you like family. So, but what is it like coaching with her in the program? What does she ask of you all? Take us behind the scenes a little bit.
So we all, like I said earlier in the show, we all have different roles that we play. So I can't speak on everything that she has them to do. But like I said, we all have our certain areas that we're over that we cover. And she just asks you to be, over your area, be an expertise in your area, and just keep her informed of, what's going on. So just make sure you're doing your job really and doing it to the best of your ability. And then, and just not slacking and, being proactive and just making sure that everybody is in the loop, everybody's up to date of what you're doing. So that's basically it. Just making sure whatever she has you over, that you're doing the best to your ability, really. And with me, I can say for me, I know when I first got there, I kept asking her, well, Coach, what you want, what you did? And she was like, just do it. And so I was like, okay. I just started doing it. And now she was like, you got it now. You see how it works. And I was like, yeah. But I was always the type that to make sure I'm doing it right. Like, I want to know, like, is this what you want? So now I realize that, okay, I'm doing right. I don't always say, Coach, this is it. I just do it now. And she was like, now you understand, how it works. Not saying I'm doing everything right, but if I see a need, I just do it. And I'm like, Coach, what you think? She's like, okay, go with it.
That ownership in the program kind of thing, like this is your program too. So kind of I feel that. I can see that. All right. Well, hey, Coach, I know there's what is a silent period. I saw the post that what is that for, like recruits, or is that for like you guys calling people? What is that silent period? What is that like?
So it's they call it the NCAA shutdown period just for women's basketball. So it's no communication. And sometimes I have to remind myself, because I'm on my social media and I see something, I'm like, oh shoot, I can't do nothing to it. And it's so crazy because from the high school I have some former students they just started school. I'm like, oh, this cute. And I thought I was like, oh, she played basketball. I can't even like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't communicate, can't like tweets, you can't nothing.
Did the men have that? I mean, like you no
basketball, yeah.
It's only women's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's interesting. Okay, well,
I don't know if everybody doing it like it's supposed to, but yeah, you're supposed to be, just dead period right now.
I got you. Okay. You said we're gonna do what we supposed to do.
Yes,
and
we are what we're supposed to do.
All right.
Hey, Coach, we got one more question from the chats. They wondering them trophies behind y'all, those state championship trophies and ribbons.
Man, so that's actually my background. I can go in that room and show y'all. It's a lot of stuff in that room. But it's Coach of the Years. The one right behind me, right there. If I'm pointing the right way, right there. That's the first championship. That one right there. That's the first championship team. Over here, that's some of the Hall of Fame awards from FAMU High. Some of my trophies. And on the other side, and right here, those two rings right there, those are state championship rings. The third one right there. And on the other side in that room is the big the poster that they gave us after we won state. And right under my name right there, you can't see it, but that's another state championship. Yeah, so I said my goal through God is to add more to that room. In my next house, I want to have a whole like basement just full of stuff. So I'm speaking.
So, Coach, I want to get this correct.
You
got so many that it's hard to keep up with. So, as a head coach and assistant coach, how many trophies you won, and then as a player, how many trophies you won?
You mean like as
championships?
So I played at FAMU High School first.
Yes.
So the crazy thing is, we did not win, but we went to state, I think, two times when I played at FAMU High School. Sadly, we didn't win it. But as a coach, we won 3 straight, 2015, 16, 17. Coach of the Years, 15, 16, 17, and 22. Yep.
Okay.
So,
and I'm not even going to count the district championships because you be all
three-time state champion, or is it 4? 3?
3 as a player. 3 as a coach, and then 4 Coach of the Years. And then right there, the rattler right here with the glass, that's the FAMU High Hall of Fame trophy right there. And then those 3, the state championships rings, which I don't wear. I don't really wear rings, but I got them.
Exactly.
That's right.
So see, #FAMU legend right here. And of course, the 2026 winner of the Kofi Hemingway Most Spirited Rattler Award.
I guess I was going to ask you guys. So I know of him because I've heard his name before, but I didn't really know him. So can you give me a brief description of who he was?
Kelvin, please. You two share that inseparable bond. So please go ahead.
So Kofi was born one day before me. We grew up together.
Okay.
And his mother and father were both tenured professors on campus. His mother was an English professor. His father was a African studies professor, and was a legend, by the way. And Kofi went to FAMU High for about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, but he played tennis, and because FAMU High didn't have tennis, his last 2 years he went to Rutgers. He was also in the band. He was also in the band, played trombone, just like me. And when he got to college, he played with the 100, as well as played tennis. Kofi is how this O&G thing started, him and Bryan, and how I got pulled into this, which I thought I'll do one episode and that'll be it. And now we 6 years later. But he was just a awesome person. He was a spiritual guy, active in the church. He was also a very humble guy, but he loved FAMU.
Okay.
He breathed FAMU, and he was always about excellence, right?
Okay.
And he didn't accept. Our motto is excellence with caring, and he didn't let our administration and nobody else off. If you weren't giving excellence and you weren't giving caring, he would let you know.
You would know about it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he followed the teams because he something I saw that he followed the high school team when I was there, but I never met him. If I did, I don't remember meeting him.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh, you would have remembered. If you would have met, he has that personality and that presence. You would have remembered meeting Kofi. I'll never forget one of the great phrases that he gave us was "do more with more." That's where he wanted us, FAMU, to be. He was tired of us talking about we do more with less. No, he wanted us to do more with more. So that's why we're always making sure to promote and to make sure that our fundraising, and we got great people that we work with and that we promote. So whatever the group is, it has something that is promoting, bringing more into FAMU, especially financially. We're about it. We always talk about it, try to promote it and share it, because that was one of those charges that he wanted us to be a university and an athletic program that did more with more, instead of leaning on that mantra that a lot of HBCUs have, which is, we're going to do more with less. Nah, let's do more with more. So,
right. Speaking to existence, that's good. All the things I've heard about him have been positive, so I'm sure I know he was a good person.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It was orange. Well said. Tony said it. He was orange and green through and through. So the high. Exactly. See.
Okay. So he's okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So again, Coach Cromartie, we thank you for your time this evening. Congratulations again.
Absolutely.
One of these days, when the budget is right, we'll send everybody like certificates and plaques. But for forever, right now, you'll be recognized as our as the two-time winner that you are. And
I appreciate it. I really
thank you, and good health to the season. And we can't wait till we start talking more about everything you guys in the ladies program are doing. So can't wait to talk more about the players and just the upcoming season. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Be well, Coach. All right. Good stuff. Coach Ericka Cromartie. Legend.
Yeah. Absolutely. She had hard work behind her to prove it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good catch by who's that? Edwin, who picked that up in the background. Yeah. Let me I'm gonna pass on, jump into a commercial break and kind of hit on a few things that are still kind of floating out there. Want to remind everybody, there's the recruiting shutdown that Coach was talking about, but want to remind everybody about the FAMU Rattler Boosters and their upcoming events. Of course, the kickoff luncheon is next Saturday, 10 days away. Next Saturday, the kickoff luncheon. That'll be interesting. Don't want to miss that one. 2:00 in the Al Lawson Center. Hear from Coach Gray. Hear from Coach Gokhan, and actually meet the players. So it's a great event. You can purchase individual tickets for $75, or you can get a table for $600 of 8 people. 8 people at a table, and then you can be a part of this luncheon. Maybe you have a corporation that would want to sponsor. This would be a great idea if you want to sponsor a table, and then just invite some people to sit. And I'm sure you can write it off because it's going to the boosters, so you can write off that money if you want to. Buy a couple of tables. Hell, spend the company's money.
It absolutely should be a sellout. Yes,
it should be a sellout. Right, it should be. Bus trip to the Gump is scheduled for Saturday, October 10th. They're going to leave from Tallahassee, from Bragg, and then they're also going to make a stop in Quincy. So if you are in the Quincy area, they'll come to you on the way to Montgomery Bus leaves at 8. It does not include game tickets. Let me be clear about this, correct? It does not include game tickets because it is Alabama State's homecoming. You have to purchase your tickets individually. But because it's homecoming, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on outside the stadium. So even if you just go to tailgate, I guess that's perfectly fine too. Right?
Yeah.
Then the other item that the boosters have going on is the Rattler meetup for the Florida Classic. Obviously, Florida Classic last game of the regular season, November date. I don't have it right off the top of my head. It's November 20 something, and so there you go. But be looking out for that. Join the boosters, FAMU RattlerBoosters.org. And let's make sure we get behind FAMU's only direct support organization dedicated specifically for athletics. FAMU RattlerBoosters.org. Okay. Just looking in the chat there. There's the bus. Florida Classic. Oh, yeah, there's a raffle going on too. So there you go. If you want to scan that QR code, all kind of QR codes there. There's information about the bus trip. There's the raffle weekend. Oh, who's putting that on? That's not the boosters. That's Rattlers in Arms doing that. Okay, so I got my promotional stuff. You know what? That should have. We got to rearrange this because the Rattler in Arms stuff should have gone on a separate spread along with the Albany State thing. We'll have to rework that. So that way we don't get everybody's stuff mixed up. Because I think there's another slide in here which talks about that. Yeah, the tailgate. All right, so we'll rework that. Tailgate's coming up. Big tailgate, Rattler in Arms, FAMU, Albany State. Somebody said, I was listening to Keith's show. He was talking about the menu. Keith already had the dibs on the menu for the tailgate. And I was like, damn, some good eating. I was like, shoot. I mean, I'm already a member. I guess, am I covered if I'm already a member? Are we covered if we're already a member of the Rattlers in Arms? I hope so.
I'm going to get a plate regardless.
I'm going regardless, right? I'm going regardless.
I'm like Doughboy. I'm going anyway.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay. And then I think one other bit of news, there was the info. Brooke Hudson, again, now an assistant coach over at the Memphis University or University of Memphis. Caitlin Scroggins just a year ago went to Virginia State, had a good season in her first year at Virginia State. So former Rattlers doing a thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see who the new assistant coach is.
Coach practically told her, we could probably narrow it down based on who he said. He shouted out a bunch of the accolades, which,
it's going to only be a couple of choices from a couple of programs.
Mm-hmm. Probably, anyway. A couple of guys with some nice NIL deals, noticing.
Yeah.
Jamal Haley. Starting running back, Clean Eats. And then Isaiah Knowles is doing an NIL with Hotel Indigo.
Let's support those businesses who support FAMU. That's why we got this out here. They investing in our student athletes, so let's invest in them.
Hotel Indigo was a great sponsor of the Rattler Football Network last year.
Mm-hmm.
Really gonna miss not staying at the Hotel Indigo this year.
We're gonna get ready to get into that, but hopefully it ain't over. It ain't over yet.
It ain't over. Okay. All right. So keep my hopes up. Keep hope alive. Okay. All right. Well, I know if you maybe you've been under a rock the last 24 or 48 hours, but it not only was it reported by Gerald Thomas, GT3, in the Tallahassee Democrat. Where's my headline at? Do I have my headline? Hold on a second. Well, it was decided. One of the misleading things. I'm just saying this out loud here. But it came out the other day that not FAMU football, but FAMU Athletics decided to end radio broadcast of all games for the upcoming season. The article published this morning in the Tallahassee Democrat reads: FAMU football ends radio broadcast of all games, move to TV and streaming. So unfortunately, as the article states, for the last 4 to 5 decades, I mean, how long is a decade?
10 years.
4 to 5 means 40 to 50 years. Football games have been carried on the Rattler Sports Network via 96.1 JAMS, WHBX, a local Tallahassee radio station owned and operated by Cumulus Media. And so for the first time, it is not going to be there, at least as of today. I'll be honest. We won't duck no smoke. I won't hide the transparency of it. Myself and Albert Chester, we were the broadcast team for the last, for 10 of the 12 games. Of course, Melvin Beal had been the play-by-play prior to myself. So both Albert and I received the word on Monday. And I will just say I was disappointed to hear it. I can't say I was completely surprised given where we were in the timeline of things. For months, both Albert and I had been waiting to hear some news about the upcoming season. And we would just kind of regularly check in. Have you heard anything? Nope, haven't heard anything. Have you? Nope. And so as the time drew closer and the weeks and months passed, it became a little disheartening as to what was going on and where we were at with things. And so, getting the call Monday was disappointing. Of course, Albert posted something on Facebook. Of course, many people know him and he knows a lot of people. So I think word started getting out. And then, of course, Wednesday, Gerald followed up with the article. And I'll be honest to you guys here and everybody who's listening. And the first question that people ask me is why? And I honestly did not ask why. Why ask why? I mean, with all the things going on surrounding the athletic program, why just wasn't on my mind. I don't know if I would have gotten, I don't know what answer I would have gotten. I don't know if I'd have got the full answer, the right answer, the PC answer. I mean, many people ask why about the $650,000 with the Georgia game. Did anybody get an answer that it made sense? Satisfied? No. So asking why just didn't really sit with me as a response. My thoughts, as well as Albert's, I think both went into what can we do? What can we do? How can we save this? I mean, 40 to 50 years. I don't want to see it fall apart on my watch. I don't want to be the last. Look, I've already been somewhere before where, I was the last. I was the last head basketball coach and an AD at a particular school before it closed. I don't want to be the last play-by-play broadcaster of the Rattler Sports Network. So my thoughts go into, how can we save it? Can we save it? I mean, we're 17 days away. How can we save it? I will say this though, what is disappointing more than anything, and I'm gonna share some screens. When I was on the yard, I interned with Dexter Martin, who was over marketing for FAMU Athletics. And one of Dexter's primary responsibilities was the Rattler Sports Network. Making sure that Keith Miles, and I forget who was the color commentator with Keith, but making sure that FAMU football games made it to the radio stations across the entire state of Florida. Not just in Tallahassee, but the Rattler Sports Network could be picked up in Orlando, South Florida, Haines City, Tampa, all over the state. Dexter used to be a part of that. And selling the advertising and the sponsorship to making sure and connecting with the radio stations to make sure that the broadcast could be picked up. And I was hoping to be a part of bringing that back. I want to see the Rattler Sports Network owning the state again, to be all over the state. I mean, it's great that we're on television, guys. It's great that people can see and stream the games, but radio's not dead. People keep trying to kill radio. Radio is that, I hate to use this analogy, it's that roach that won't go away. It is still running around and still vibrant as it was when they said it was going to die because of satellite radio. Radio still lives. There are plenty of Rattlers in Tallahassee and across the state that listen to the audio broadcast of games. Audio broadcasting of games happens for major college athletics. You could be listening to the NCAA tournament or watching it on TV. Guess what? If you're driving somewhere in between games, guess what, guys? Westwood One is broadcasting it over the air. The national championship game, you can watch it on TV. But if you were to jump in your car and had to go somewhere, guess what you could do? Turn on the TV, turn on the radio, and listen to the game on, like, I don't know, Fox Radio or ESPN Radio. It's on the radio. The local sports stations pick up the feed. ACC, Big East, SEC, Big 12. They all run radio broadcasts.
Go lower. I gave you some information.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. I'm gonna let you talk about it, because that way I can share the screen. And then even deeper than that, that's big time, right? Mid-majors, HBCUs,
high school.
Running high school. You know what? You're right, because my high school back home, if I ever want to, I can listen to a game from my high school in Indianapolis, Indiana. They're on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Radio is not dead. The radio broadcast, high schools run radio broadcasts. I don't know why it's so. I can't. So if you ask me why, I don't know why it's going away. I'm saddened that it is right now going away. But I can't answer the why, because some things just don't make sense to me. That's just me. But by the reaction by a lot of you, by the reaction by a lot of people, it doesn't make sense to you either. Kelvin, I'll give you the floor, because what you showed us as we were looking at this, it's crazy how in our own in the backyard of Tallahassee, And in the state, between our rival, there's some great examples of what they are doing with radio broadcast. And it just makes you say, why can't we do that? Why not us? Remember that? Remember that? Why not us?
Yeah.
And we're back to asking that now. Why not us?
So, Bryan, I always talk about, when we get into this FAMU foolishness stuff, about best business practices. And they're just some things that are industry standard. As we've talked about, high school, professional, colleges at all levels, everybody has a sports network who has an athletic team, particularly football, but even non-football schools. I don't know of one in the NCAA Division I level that don't. So the whole thing about broadcasting on TV doesn't add up. I'm gonna tell a little story real quick. Every Sunday, I listen to 96.1 at home. But I don't listen to it on the radio. You know what? They have digital feeds. So if I tell Alexa or Google to play 96.1 jams, they tell me they're going to play it on Odyssey or iHeartRadio. My point is, local stations have national reach. They're streamed also. So you don't have to, it's not analog anymore. You don't have to be in your car and you get 10 miles out and then the feed goes away. So people look at it wrong. Number one, and why does everybody else, Florida State, Bethune-Cookman has Cat Eye Network, Florida State is all over the state. Why do their athletic departments have radio, audio feeds? Well, I tell you what it's supposed to mean. When I get in my car and I turn on the radio to 96.1, if you look at my display, there are advertisements on the display of my car. If I listen to it on a device inside the house, there are advertisements for that on the display. You are able to sell both local, regional, and national ads if you have people who are doing their jobs. In other words, it's a revenue generating thing. And why would you take away options versus expanding options? There are some folks who will stream and they're fine with stream, but there's some folks who is not technology challenged, or in rural areas where they have inconsistent service. And I know a lot of people who sit up in the stands watching the game, but listening to the audio feed on their headphones. So you can't tell me that it's cost. It should be a revenue stream, and it's industry standard, best industry standard. If high schools can do it, Bethune-Cookman can do it, then FAMU and the brand that we are should be doing it also, at a high level. So it makes no sense. Number one. Number two, silence, lack of communication. It's unprofessional. If a decision like this is made, it should have been made earlier and communicated earlier. But if a decision is made, then the face of the decisions need to come on and talk to. I know TDO and Gerald reached out, try to find out, what's what. I know that others have reached out trying to find out about this decision. Radio silence. Nothing from the people who are in charge of communicating to us. That's unacceptable. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of we do have our own radio. There's some things with advertising in terms of what you can and can't do with a educational station. But so you may not be able to monetize it the same. But yeah, we also got FAMU TV 20. It's so much possibilities that have gone unexplored and executed. And honestly, I don't know this to be the case, but I know there's a lot of vacancies within the athletic department. And I also know that the budget sometimes this time of year, until you start getting, ticket money in and guarantee money in, sometimes it can be a little slim. I don't know what the catalyst is for this decision, but I know Rattler Nation has stepped in just like last year. The 220 Club, maybe with his assistant of booster, were the ones that kind of made it happen last year. And if they let people know, I'm sure that Rattler Nation will rise to the occasion again. So it's just, I'm gonna be frank. It looks like amateur hour. And the lack of professionalism and lack of communication is, I get it. I get why people feel the way they feel. So hopefully, we'll get a face to give voice to whatever the decision is. But that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Marcus, you want to add any thoughts? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Kelvin.
No, I was just going to point out, you got on the screen about, Bethune-Cookman, our rival, and, their cat-out network. So I'm just saying, we FAMU. Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I agree with all the points that you said, and I guess the biggest disappointment, but perhaps not surprising, is the lack of a response. I mean, usually when something major changes, and this is just for anything, but not just sports, but any major change, you usually have some type of explanation. It may not be the actual, rationale, but at least you have something that says why the decision is being made, and some kind of plausible rationale / excuse as to why it's being done, even if it's not the true underlying cause. So the lack of communication in regards to that is probably the biggest not the biggest absence, but and the fact that it affects so many other folks, like Bryan and all the people who are in the production. It just seems like I don't know if, just to understand why the decision was being made. If it was financial, in theory, or if they believe it was financial, then say so. Then we're not getting the ROI that we believe we're getting from the network. And then, even though it's still a disappointed Rattler Nation, you'd have something. But right now, everything's left to speculation and rumor and conjecture, which doesn't bode well for the athletic department, doesn't bode well for Madam President. It just doesn't look good. And so there's some explaining that needs to be done. And also it foregoes opportunity, and I don't know how things were arranged, but for either student or professional development, because there were people working on this who are either honing their craft, leveraging their expertise, and now there's no avenue for that to happen as well.
And I'll just say, I know that the local stations like 96.1, we are a priority, and they're backed by, owned by Cumulus, which is a major company. They are always made FAMU Athletics and the sports network and broadcasting our football a priority. That's why you have decades-long relationships. It also gives people who support your program, like your local advertisers, an opportunity to get noticed, and to get the return on their investment by, letting everybody know they support Rattler Sports Network. To me, it's like small potatoes, right? So this should be simple. It's not hard. Technology is at a point now where to broadcast something digitally to a radio station, somebody at the board, send it out. It's not difficult. It is not super expensive. So it's just hard for me to know that the industry standard is athletic departments have audio teams, and here we are with our brand, and we're saying that we're not going to have one. Yeah.
Look at our rival over in Daytona Beach created a network. Read that first sentence. It's the lifeblood of Bethune-Cookman Creative. I mean, it tells the story of their program. One season, one game, one pass, kick, shot. So they make a point of being dedicated to keeping people updated about their sports, their teams, their student athletes. And then they even set up a model where they lean into helping students get real world training. I remember meeting one of the young ladies who works with, you remember we met her at the Florida class.
Yeah.
It's funny. She stopped to ask us questions. Like she was doing like, what kind of things can I do to continue growing?
Yep.
And I was like, wow, somebody's actually asking me a question. I'm like, it's wow. Right. But this is well put together. Now, I mean, again, this is coming from another HBCU.
Go show them the other one.
If I show you the other one, you'll be really upset, because the other one, which I showed earlier, from Florida State.
Show the cities.
Half these cities used to be part of the Rattler Sports Network. Daytona Beach, Fort Walton Beach, the Jacksonville, all the way down to Key West, multiple stations in Lake City and Live Oak. Of course, they're in Orlando. A lot of these stations are AM, FM. That's why it's really one station, or they just happen to have an AM signal and an FM signal. I mean, what do you know? You make it. We're going to make sure we're accessible everywhere. AM and FM, owned by the same radio station.
Yeah.
So just in case you can't pick it up one way, you can get it another way. Pensacola, Tampa, Titusville, West Palm Beach, Cambridge, Georgia. And then, look, we're
basketball.
doing basketball. Oh, wow. Because, hey, we've got a well-known basketball coach, and I think Rattlers across the state would love to know how his teams are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, women's basketball. Oh, we got a Hall of Fame women's basketball coach. I think people would like to know how her program's doing. Baseball. Oh, baseball. Our baseball team's won they won championships. We got a softball team that's won. I mean, so at some point, the university
you're saying it right.
Yeah.
The leadership
the leadership of the university, somebody is going to have to care enough to not let this opportunity fall by. Because again, why not? That's really at the end of the day, that's the question that I want to know. Why not FAMU? Florida State is good enough for your alma mater. It's good enough for the guys down the hill across the tracks. It's good for our cousins on the beach. Why not us? You know, we traveled. The radio broadcast team, what I learned, travels with the football program.
Mm-hmm.
So every hotel, every travel destination that football went on, we were there. Myself and Alchester, we were 2 seats, 2 rooms, 2 seats on a bus, 2 seats on a plane, 2 rooms at a hotel. Right there with everybody else who was part of the traveling party. Every stadium in the SWAC has a booth for the radio team. Now, you know, I've heard some interesting stories about some of those in the past, but I mean, like you could like host a party. Like literally, we could be doing the broadcast and have like all kinds of stuff going on behind us, and no one would be to the wiser. Even at FAMU, we have a home radio booth. Guess what? There's a visiting radio booth to the right.
And it's standard. When Alcorn State come down, who comes down with them to do their radio?
Charles Edmond and his team.
Tall man.
Tall man radio.
Everybody has it in the conference. So this is asinine.
So yeah, I don't know, guys. I know it's I can't even tell you who to contact if you were upset. I mean, again, I always say go to the president if you really, but I don't know how you contact her. So I don't know who you contact. I guess, continue to, I don't know, at this point in the season being so far away, unless at the 12th hour or 11th hour, you decide to include, because travel plans are already being made for football. So if you're not including a radio crew and say, well, you would have to get your own way to and from, okay, it's not impossible. It's doable. Media credentials aren't hard to get. There's no cost to that. I can't speak to the technical side of it just yet, but there's ways.
Oh, it could happen. I would tell you, I can speak to this because even before I worked in athletics, I used to pay to travel with the team, and I would be with Keith Miles' production crew when they went, and I could tell you there was times where it went almost to the week of before the university dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. 96.1 is still there. They still can have a technician. They have a board. We already have internal equipment that we use when we set up to go on these trips to put the signal out. So the execution of it is not the issue. The will and authority to do it is the issue. Where's the leadership?
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate everybody who did reach out. Thanks. Maybe we'll be able to share some good news or some new news in the next week or two. But all we can do is just pray and watch. Maybe a Rattler will hit this Powerball. It's $1 billion today.
Yeah, you can't win if you ain't in.
Yeah, you can't win if you ain't playing. Exactly. So
all I'm saying, I'm in.
Yeah, me too. Me too. if you hit it, see what you do with it.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't put it in the mail though. I'll tell you that. Heard a story about some mail carrier in Florida that had robbed a lottery winner. I was like, what? You mean you actually put your winning ticket in the mail? Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I'll be on the first car rental or whatever. I'm renting a car, a Turo or something. I'm on the way up to Tallahassee myself to cash that puppy in.
I know that's right.
Yay, funny. All right, what other news and notes you guys got out there? Marcus, any other news and notes you want to hit on before we put this show to bed?
Nothing I could think of. I know Coach Gokhan mentioned all the Olympic sports. A couple of them have recruits committing 2 years out. So women's basketball just got a commitment this week from a local player who transferred into Tallahassee. She was at Bishop Moore in Orlando, and I think they were in the state title game for Class 4A. I think they lost. Mm-hmm. But
okay,
they got
what's the name? Because I know the head coach over there. That's right here in the backyard.
Aaliyah Smith. I'm not sure about her amount of playing time. I'm not sure. And she spells it different. It's like it's Alicia Smith. I think it's Alysya. So I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But she transferred to FAMU High, I believe, after the season. But she played at Bishop Moore. So she just committed this week. I think we offered her in late June. So, just keeping tabs on that. And
got to reach out to my guy who's the head coach over there and find out more about that.
And just trying some different things. I know Troy and I have talked about some things in the background, trying to see what we can leverage in terms of getting some things that might be little cherries on top.
Well, like I said, I'm excited that hopefully, again, appreciate everybody who has subscribed to our Substack page, who have checked out the article. Again, the 2026 FAMU football preview article is on Substack, the O&G Substack. I'll put the link in the chat again. But if you haven't checked it out, go check it out and then subscribe. We're going to be doing some stuff, a lot of recruiting stuff. You heard a big recruiting drop from Coach Gokhan. I can't wait till we get that information and tell you who that is. But that may be behind a subscriber wall. I'm just telling you now, So good stuff. Kelvin.
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So thing number one, the University FAMU, they extended the fall deposit window for Florida residents to August 14th. So you got the Friday to pay your bills, and that was an extension from the original deadline. So we're trying to avoid what happened at Howard. So we want to make sure we get the word out, because we want 10,000 plus students enrolled this fall semester. We need that. The athletic department needs that. So you've got to Friday if you haven't paid your deposit for the fall. So make sure let's do that. All right. Thing number two, we've got the Grape Harvest Festival. It happens every year in August. Around this time is August 22nd at the Vineyards on Mayhan Drive, and it's a really, really big deal. Folks go out there, the Vineyards does fruit research and things of that sort, and it's a really big event, well attended, from 8 to 2 on Saturday, the 22nd of August. For those who be in the area, I know fall move-in is next week also, but the students will be moving into dorms and apartments and all that. So that's an option. You can go to stump some grapes, and then you can go to the booster event and Fan Day. I'm assuming Fan Day will be announced shortly. It might not be safe to assume no more, but
you know what they say about when you assume.
It may not be safe to assume, but we'll see. And also, Bill Proctor's fish fry kickoff is tomorrow at the fairgrounds. For the team, the athletic teams and administration are supposed to be there. So, folks, we first we want to go and support the coaches and everything. But I mean, if you want to ask some questions, maybe that'll be the time to get some questions answered, because administration is supposed to be present also. And last but not least of my announcement, you want to tune in next Wednesday, because it's the Avengers song, the Avengers show, FAMU Avengers. We will assemble to talk about the upcoming season and predictions and all kind of tidbits. So,
oh boy.
And that's all I got, Bryan.
A lot to talk about.
It is.
A lot to talk about. All right. A couple of reminders for you guys. Again, go check out, again, our preview of the upcoming football season. And here's how you can subscribe. Hold on. Let me do a couple things here. All right. There we go. O&G StrikeZone.substack.com is the page. Go to our O&G StrikeZone Substack page. Free. Just subscribe. This article is free. I'm telling you now, we're going to be doing some recruiting stuff. This is going to be your hot spot to get recruiting information about FAMU. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking basketball, men and women's. I'm talking volleyball. I'm talking softball. I'm talking track and field, and the club sports. Baseball as well. Coming from guys like Marcus Green, Keith Hadley, maybe some others. Can't wait for this edition, but this is a great time to jump into the Substack page and get subscribed as we get ready to promote this. Kelvin did a great job on this article, so appreciate you guys who have already checked it out, who have already subscribed, and those who have already donated. Saw a couple people already make some donations, so appreciate you doing that. So good stuff. Great stuff. We're looking forward to doing some good things.
And I'll definitely, right now, I'll commit to at least one article a month. I want to do one a week, but I ain't gonna commit to that yet.
Hey, one a month is good. One a month is good. Hey, and if you want to be a contributor, we're looking for contributors. Matter of fact, I got to promote this because we're looking for interns for our internship program through the Career and Placement Center. So if you know a student who is looking for work study, you need to go to the Career Center, send them over to the Career Center, and they can get signed up for work study. And we're looking for positions. Now, we only got a couple positions for our sports media interns, as well as our podcast marketing specialists. So we're starting small. We're looking for like 2 to 3 students who have background maybe in writing or photography, editing, content creation, marketing and promotions, not only for our show, but also we want to be there to cover things. When the volleyball team plays, we want to be there. When, basketball plays, we want to be there. We want to be able to provide not only video, but also maybe post-game comments and commentary. So there's a lot of growth opportunities here to help promote the show to Rattler Nation. And there's a lot of Rattlers, you guys who are loyal followers who watch and listen. We appreciate you continuing to share the show.
Yes.
But we got to grow, man. There's a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat on the bone. And so this is year 6. This is the growth year. This is the expansion year. So we got some exciting stuff in the works. So
Yeah,
now
got a little advertisement now.
Yeah.
Got to show advertisement.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. There.
We are.
Took a minute. We're getting there. So
thank you, thank you, EA, for being a contributor.
Huh?
I said thank you, EA, for being a contributor.
EA wants to be a contributor?
No, I believe he was talking about he already contributed to the
okay.
stack.
Well, thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Well, Roscoe Rattler be there.
We have to get that answer. Yeah, we have to get that answer, B Starks. Don't know yet, but we'll have the answer next Wednesday for sure.
I can tell you communication and talks are happening. That's about all I can tell you. What is this? Did we send a copy of this opportunity to Dr. Black and SBI? I don't know. We did not, because we're running this through the Career Center. So there probably are business students. There are SBI students who are part of the Career Center who might be looking for work study. Again, this is going through work study. So we have people that are working for us, but they're getting paid through work study. So, I mean, that's how big this is. This so this is a great opportunity to earn some money and help us continue covering FAMU. So, all right. Well, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's show. Again, got to thank Coach Gokhan Yilmaz for joining us. Got to thank Coach Ericka Cromartie for joining us. Have to thank all of you watching us wherever you're watching us, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram Live, on Twitter. You might be watching the replay. Great. You might even be watching us or listening to us on the BCSN Pod Zone, which is the podcast platform for the Black College Sports Network, available wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, so on and so forth. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate your love and support. You can always donate to the show. You see the $, the Cash App. You can also leave a super chat if you're on the MyJBN YouTube feed, and so on and so forth. So that's going to do it for tonight. Official countdown is, hold on, I'm looking at the website. 16 days, 20 hours, 10 minutes, and less than 15 seconds away from kickoff of the 2026 season. Albany State at FAMU, August 29th, 7 p.m. in Bragg Memorial Stadium. Boom. Here come those Rattlers. All right, folks, that's going to do it. For Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Bryan Fulford. Thank you, Rattler Nation. Be well, stay safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Things up, and make sure to strike, and strike again. Peace out, everybody.